Hi everyone, I am Sid Part 2, and what you are looking at is the interior of my custom Tardis. That's right, I made a CGI Tardis, the interior of the Tardis, the bigger on the inside part, and today I'm going to walk you through every single step I took. So here's the very first one. I started with the center console, and I knew immediately that I wanted the spirals. That's an octagon shape, and then I added the dome here. It's a custom background on it. Messing around with the background, not a ton going on. The interior spirals are actually glass, which I'm really proud of. Here's me adding some blue lights to it. It didn't quite work out. Just trying to get the overall tone right. Another view, just playing with stuff here. Here's the very first part of adding a holographic display system, since I decided to go with something untraditional as controls. I didn't want to create the geometry. There's the first door. I didn't want to create the geometry of every single little knob and lever. So I decided that it would make a lot more sense to just do a holographic display, because then, if it's were to ever be used, which it's probably not, then I can actually, have a CGI doctor working with those. I was trying to add an entrance, and I decided to go with a glass staircase. That's a terrible idea. We'd be through like 5 doctors in 2 minutes. And here's me playing with angles that I like. Added a graded floor there. I just really wasn't liking these displays, so I actually decided to go with all Gallifreyan writing, so it could be ambiguous and at the same time look really cool. And here's me playing with the glows. There's the outside of it. It's not actually the box, I'm afraid. And it's playing with the glow effect was tricky. It's way too intense there. Took it down, messed around with some levels and stuff like that. Now I added my arches, which I made in a separate project, and I really like those. I love how they reflect and everything. Yeah, God, it looks so cool. I'm sorry. And I decided I needed more lights, so I put in glowing lights inside the circles I left in the arches, and you can see some of the Gallifreyan there. Working once again, I added my coat rack. I was really happy with my coat rack. Just trying to get different views on the coat rack here. Nothing really special. Wood's actually really hard to texture, so I had to do a bunch of renders of that to make it work. And I love how the shadows are looking. Now I worked on getting the camera right and getting the lighting source right, making the floor red. Didn't like that. Getting the camera right and getting the lighting source right to make the shadows of the spirals come through. It's a chrome texture on those, and I liked how it turned out. Tried blue, didn't like it that much. I was trying to, balance the red, blue, and yellow throughout and everything, and I think it worked fairly well. I tried the yellow handrail, and I just didn't like the look of it, so I ended up playing with it, and it didn't look very good, so I ended up going with red here. Now I had to play with the transparency and the levels on it and stuff, and I got it looking a lot better as it reflected everything around it. The lighting I love how light bounces off these glass textures. It's awesome to me. Playing with the transparency of the handrail there. Yeah, and here I started working on the transparency of the spirals, since they didn't look quite like glass, and I tried adding a glow inside, and I had to play around with that a lot to get it to work right. There it's starting to look a lot better, a lot closer to the finished product. And there's some more, close to the end of it right there. And at this point, I'm just playing with where the light is and where the camera's at to get the best possible view of it. I actually did get this printed out, and you're going to see the final printed image here in a second, just working on a couple different parts. And here's the final print. Darkened it up, increased the contrast, yada yada. And then this part took a month. Getting a full 360-degree rotation of it. And honestly, I did kind of mess it up a little bit. I put on global illumination, and it did not help at all. It really brought the whites too high up, so I had to play around with the contrast to get this to work, and it looks good still, but not exactly what I wanted, unfortunately. So yes, that was the tour and making of my CGI Tardis. I hope you all enjoyed. Here we go, one more little time around.